I myself have met people that have actually left Islam because of these types of tales. The issue of Yajuj and Majuj is actually, for our modern times, I would say, one of the most, if not the most problematic of the signs of Judgment Day. And it has caused many of our youth to question, to doubt. I myself have met people that have actually left Islam because of these types of tales. And we have to be honest and frank and not pretend as if this doesn't exist. Perhaps some of you are not accustomed to hearing people speak like this, but my philosophy is different. We are dealing with the crisis of people leaving our faith, our own children, our own young men and women. And of the reasons why is that we are not answering some of these issues that they bring, and we dismiss them. The issue of Yajuj and Majuj is something that doesn't just occur in the hadith. It is explicit in the Quran. Standard medieval interpretation of Yajuj and Majuj is the following. This is what you find in Ibn Kathir. You find it in the tafsir literature of As-Samarqandi and of Al-Tha'labi. And basically, this is the mainstream interpretation for our classical and middle ages of Islam. If you look at any book of tafsir, any book of history, the notion was the following. Yajuj and Majuj are a bizarre, exotic tribe in the nether regions of the world that have been trapped by Dhul Qarnayn thousands of years ago, and they're still trapped to this day. That Yajuj and Majuj are a living tribe, blocked to this day behind the wall that was built 4,000, 5,000 years ago. That wall miraculously is still there. People can see on the one side, and on the other side you have these savages that Allah knows how they're eating, drinking, replicating, whatnot, and they're still there for eons and eons and eons. Dare I say, anybody who knows science and geography and modern civilization, you cannot believe that there is a tribe for 4,000 years trapped behind a wall. I mean, if you believe this, that's your position. I cannot believe it. I find this very difficult to believe. If you still believe that there's a big wall that is lasting for thousands of years, and by the way, no human structure is that fortified for 4,000 or 5,000 years that nothing happens to it. Even the Great Wall of China needs to be built up or whatnot. I mean, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, if you believe, so this is, what can I say? If you believe it, you believe it. I am somebody who, what can I say? My mind doesn't believe this. Others have said, we need to reinterpret Yajuj and Majuj metaphorically. And that is this newfangled interpretation. This is a very modern interpretation. It only begins in the 60s and whatnot, where they say Dajjal and Yajuj and Majuj are symbolic. I admire the fact they're trying to salvage the tradition, because they understand that mainstream interpretation doesn't make sense. Another group says, and this is something that I have heard myself, some ulama say, that perhaps Yajuj and Majuj are not on earth but under earth. That's why the satellites haven't discovered them. Again, I appreciate the salvaging, I really do. But how can human beings survive? No vegetation, no plants with the sun, no oxygen, food, drink, thousands of years. And according to these traditions, we're talking about gazillions of people. What is the answer to this conundrum of Yajuj and Majuj? I will disappoint you by saying there is no clear-cut answer. I don't have a solution to Yajuj and Majuj. I am personally skeptical. I mean, I have a degree in engineering. I understand mathematics and chemistry and geology, and Allah knows best. Perhaps, this notion of a living tribe of Yajuj and Majuj is not correct. And this is what I firmly believe, simply because it is highly problematic to posit that there are billions of people somewhere in today's world clawing away. There is another interpretation which I hesitate to even verbalize. And I will tell you honestly, this is not mine. One of my scholarly friends, in a private conversation, so he will not allow me to mention his name. So we were talking with a group of ulama, a group of students of knowledge, whatnot, call them whatever you will, and we're talking about this problematizing. It is a problem, wallahi, it's a problem for any rational mind. What are you going to do with Yajuj and Majuj? He said, let's look at these traditions again. We see that first and foremost, Yajuj and Majuj seem to be human but not human. You see where this is heading. And they seem to be a race of people that cannot be fought. And they seem to be doing things that are bizarre, drinking up all of this water. That's not, humans can't do that. Mentally, they don't seem to be 100% there when they think they can kill the people of the heavens. This isn't normal. This isn't rational. So ayas, the key point. They shall die the death of one man. How will they get gotten rid of? Allah will send a disease, some type of antivirus, some type of vaccine. I'm just saying what my friend said, because the hadith mentions this explicitly, does it not? Allah will send something that will get them in the neck, and they will die the death of one person. So when my friend kept on going over all of these points, my laughter turned to a serious contemplation. And I said, but how do we tell the public this?